Alright, what's going on, you guys? So it's time for a tire wheel upgrade for the Xmaxx. So last time I took this truck out, both front tires got destroyed, and only the fronts, not the rear, and that's because the front does all the steering, so there's a lot more forces applied to the front. So let me get this out of the way, I'll show you what I got. So these are the new tires and wheels. So I looked at a lot of different ones. I did a lot of research, and a lot of the common tires like the Proline Badlands or the Traxxas Belted, a lot of people complain that the tires came unglued on the first run. I didn't want that. I wanted something durable. I wanted something that's going to last and also look cool too. So that led me to one of the oldest tire manufacturers for RC cars, Imex. Anyone not familiar with Imex, that's these guys right here. Imex modeler in Florida. They're the makers of the Jumbo Kong. These things have been around a long time. And here they've got some new in the package. They're still around to this day. You can go around their website. So these right here are called Imex J-7s. So Imex has always been known to make a crazy durable tire. And I'm pretty sure these things are going to live up to that reputation. And if you take a look, they're a bead lock. They're not glued on like most. They're a bead lock front. So they're also a bead lock on the back side of the wheel too. Some wheels are just a bead lock on the outside edge only, but these are outside and inside edge. And also if you take a look right here, you'll see that aluminum ring, and what that's there for, it adds strength to the hex section. It prevents any cracks from happening, so you don't have to worry about them stripping out, so that's awesome. Another kind of weird thing that I've never seen before in an RC wheel. So these are a 23mm hex, but they also have an insert right here that gives it a square drive. I've never seen a square drive hex on an RC car, but they're obviously out there or they wouldn't include it. But I'm pretty sure this piece just pops out and you can put that right on the Xmaxx. Let's see. Yeah, so right there's the piece. It just pops right out. And so that should go right on the Xmaxx. The only other thing that you need if you want to put these on, you need a different set of wheel adapters. So I picked these up from RC Monster. If you go on Imex's website, they recommend these. So this is just the nut that holds the wheel on. This goes inside the wheel right here, like that. And it's extended right there. It's a little deeper. It also has like a washer built into it, so there's a lot more thread engagement, and also this washer helps keep the wheel tight and secure and where it's supposed to be. So let me get those stock wheels off, I'll get these things installed. Look at that, back tires are on, looking good. Went to mount the front tires on, I ran into a little problem. Noticed one little issue, it's not a huge deal. Only take me a second to correct. Let me get this out of the way again. So if you look at the tread pattern, and as far as tread pattern goes, it's pretty cool. They look a lot like the Super Swamper TSL full-size tires. But anyway, if you look at them, they're directional. If you see these lugs are kind of curved that way, these ones are curved this way. So they're directional, and when you buy these tires, they come in pairs, rear or front, so you have a left and a right. So when you buy a pair, you buy one left and one right. These two were mounted same direction. Let me show you what I mean. So at first glance, everything looks okay, but if you take a look at the outside of the wheel compared to the tread pattern, these are both pointing the same way. So when you buy a pair of Imex J7s, you get a right and a left. And they're awesome tires. They're crazy durable. They're not exactly cheap. They're about $80 for a pair, but they're well worth it because if you think about it, they may be more than other tires, but they last at least twice as long, and you don't have to worry about them coming unglued because they're a true bead lock. And when the tire comes unglued off a wheel, it's very annoying, and you don't have to worry about that with the Imex. So anytime I've ever gotten anything from Imex, if everything's been perfect, it's been right on, with the exception of this. Not 100% sure how that happened, but I got a pretty good idea. More than likely, the guy working at Imex that day was drinking on the job, but it's not a huge deal. I'll just take these beadlock rings off, flip it around. But who knows, maybe I'll do Imex a favor, give them a call, let them know they got a booze hound working for them, and they need to keep an eye on that guy. But the plus side is I'll be able to dismount the tire and do a real good comparison between an Imex J-7 and a stock Xmaxx tire. So let me get to work dismounting these tires, and I'll do a quick comparison. So here's the Imex tire, the Imex J-7, next to the stock Xmaxx. And just comparing the difference in the compound of the tire, this almost feels more like a mountain bike tire compared to this. You can tell this is way more rugged. So I don't think they're going to rip apart like this. So that was easy. It didn't take too long, just a few screws. This thing popped right off. That's the beauty of having a bead lock. So now I'll just remount it. Make sure it's the opposite way of this tire. Get these things on the truck. We'll see how it goes. Okay, all back together. Now it's good to go. Notice they're pointing in the same direction. So now I get these mounted on the truck. One thing I want to note though, these things are awesome. Not only is the compound of the tire really nice, thickness, everything's way stronger than a stock one. Take a look at the webbing on the inside of this wheel, all these little gussets and everything that are molded into the wheel. These things are way stronger than the factory wheel. Imex has always been known for their extremely high quality, so far this thing looks impressive. And having this bead lock made it really easy and painless to switch tires over. Also, take a look at overall height and size, they're about the same. Imex might be a little taller, but as far as sidewall goes, looking at the sidewall, the Imex has a shorter sidewall, which means it's likely to handle better. But to be honest with you, Xmaxx handled pretty awesome as it was. Oh yeah, and I'll also do a quick comparison between the stock wheel nut and the RC Monster one. Right there you can see the difference. It uses the same 17mm socket, but right there you can see the difference. There's like that little shank right there, fits in the wheel, so there's way more thread engagement. So when you tighten this down, all you have is that little bit of threads, maybe like 3 or 4 threads. This one has like a lot, like from here to here, so all that, but you also get a washer. So you can see the surface area of like the clamping area. So this is way better. So it goes just like that. Alright, wheels and tires are on. Take a look. That gray wheel looks awesome. That bead lock thing looks mean. However, ran into a little problem. Take a look. So when I was putting the wheel on, I thought there was play in a bearing or something. I thought something was wrong. There's not. Let me show you what's going on. I take this back off. Problem I ran into, it's a little too long right here. So this piece fits inside the wheel like that. And if you take a look, it doesn't stick past the wheel. However, the hub, it's not threaded all the way. And if you take a look right here, you can see where the orange is worn off a little bit, where the anodizing wore off. And that's because it's coming in contact with this edge right here. So it's not allowing the wheel to go all the way in. So it's not a huge deal. I can just take this to my shop, grind off a little bit right here, and I'll have this thing up and running in no time. Alright, so I'm at my shop. I got all the wheel nuts turned down. I just put them on a lathe. Took a little material out of this part right here so it doesn't bottom out on the threads. So now I can pop the wheel on, take it for a spin. So So when I ordered these wheel adapters from RC Monster, I ordered the extended length ones. I guess I probably should have ordered the standard length ones and it would have saved a lot of time. But either way, it works. So now I'll take this thing for a spin. Before I do though, earlier when I was saying that these tires look a lot like the Super Swapper TSLs, I'll show you a quick comparison to a full-size Swapper TSL. So right there you could definitely see a big similarity in the lug design. So now we'll see how good these tires perform and how durable they are.
Alrighty.
The tires work awesome, but the truck's been Traxxas. So it's kind of weird. I brought this thing back in the shop, get it on the bench, and now it's working all of a sudden, so we'll try this again. Seems to be working normal now, so that must have been a glitch.
Can't say nothing.
I spoke too soon. Well, that was no fun. I put all that work into modifying those wheel adapters and everything, getting those mounted up. The tires performed awesome. I wouldn't expect anything less than Imex. Every one of their products I've ever had has been perfect, but truck I'm not too impressed with. Never really been into Traxxas. Always been more of an ARM, a Cloudbuster fan. This is why it seems like every Traxxas I have run a few laps and break or just shut off for no reason like this one did. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this truck. I don't know if I'm going to keep going and fix it or just sell it cheap. Maybe I'll give this thing away too. Who knows? But anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Like and subscribe and hit the bell.